So this is Grandma's Story Time with Liam and Asher. And we're reading The Captain's Courageous. Chapter 6. The Cook's Prophecy. Harvey woke the next morning on a roller coaster. Heavy seas sent the We're Here climbing up and up, then down and down, quivering all over. A pause. Then the seas crashed on the deck as the We're Here began to climb upward again. There could be no fishing in such a gale, but the trawl lines were still out. Harvey moved around slowly and carefully, wondering if he were going to be sick. Then he found he was wildly hungry, as always. He managed to eat his usual big breakfast and saw he was not going to be sick. Then he and Dan bustled around, doing chores for the cook. After having peeled potatoes, cut up pork, and brought up the coal, they were free. Sitting in the cabin with the crew, with the gale still blowing, Harvey turned to Manuel and asked, "How long will it be like this?" "Maybe clear tonight, maybe 2 days more," he replied. "You not afraid?" "No, I was just afraid of being sick," said Harvey, "but I feel fine." "That is because we make fishermen of you. When we come back to Gloucester, you should burn 2-3 candles in our church on the hill, to the Virgin, for your luck." "I do that," explained Manuel. "It is why very few Portuguese men ever drowned." Tom Platt shook his head. "I don't see it that way. The sea's the sea, and no candles are going to help." Lighting his pipe, Long Jack added, "I'm with Manuel's way of thinking. It never hurt to have a friend at church." Manuel's advice. Dan did not join in the talk, but wrestled with an accordion and the pitching of the We're Here. He managed a recognizable playing of several popular sea chanties, which the crew sang along with him. Then, when he began another tune, Tom Platt roared out, "Hold on! That song's a Jonah for sure." "No, it's not," returned Dan hotly. "It's only a Jonah if you sing the last verse." "What's a Jonah?" asked Harvey. "Anything that spoils the luck," explained Long Jack. "Sometimes it's a person, or could be a knife, or even a bucket. There's all sorts of Jonahs." Tom Platt said, "Jim Burke was one until he drowned last season. I'd rather have starved than ship out with Burke." Dan joined in. "Remember the green dory on the Ezra flood? That was the worst Jonah. Drowned 4 men, she did, and it used to shine in the night." "Is good Harvey is no Jonah," said Manuel. Here's a picture of Dan playing the accordion. All the men are singing. "It was a chance I took when I saved him." "Of course he's not," said Dan hotly. "In fact, just the opposite. The day after he came on board, we had a toppin' good catch." Suddenly, the cook gave a queer, thin laugh. He stopped peeling the potatoes in the large bowl in his lap and looked around at the men, ending with Harvey. "No, you are not a Jonah, but something else." It was so unusual for the cook to speak that the men held very still and listened. "In a few years, you will be Dan's master," he told Harvey, "and Dan will be your man." "Not by a jugful," protested Dan. "Why do you say that?" "I see it in my head. Harvey the master, and Dan his man." "Now, how in thunder do you figure that?" said Tom Platt. "I see it in my head," was the cook's only reply. "Harvey the master, and Dan his man." Is the picture of the cook He's making his prophecy. Harvey's going to be the master. And that's the end of chapter 6. And so Grandma will keep sending stories if you like it. And we'll read one chapter every day. And Daddy can let you watch it on the computer or on his phone. And I'll say goodnight. Big kiss for Liam. Kiss for Asher. And one for Daddy. Good night.